Welcome back to our Canada trip. We didn't film anything yesterday because we came back to main Montreal and we went out for, what's that food last night?
So we went for poutine at la banquise.
Yeah, it was really nice. I got some photographs of that, which you can see now. And then we didn't film anything else because we just had a bit of an easy day. Today we've come for bagels to start ourselves off, and then we're going to go around Old Montreal, the port, Atwater Market, basically lots of things to do. There's a light display at a church we have tickets for later, which is going to be amazing. And it's just generally an explore of parts of the city today now. Cool. But let's get a lunch to start with. We have our bagels! Yay. So I must say, those bagels are a lot better than any bagels I've ever had in England or anywhere in the UK. They were really nice. I had a ham and chives and cream cheese and smoked salmon and cream cheese, was it?
Yeah, then you can choose your bun, and then like we choose sesame, but then you can choose also with like cinnamon or like all the different ones. So yeah, that's just like a good choice of it, and then you can choose if you want it toasted or not, and then it was like really crispy and really nice. Yeah,
and there's an option of all different things. You can have extras in it, and when they took our order there were extras that weren't on the board, which took us by surprise, so you added onions to yours as well, didn't you?
Oh yeah, and the board we had to take a picture of it because it kept changing so fast, so we were like completely lost and be like, oh my god, like what are we doing here?
You got a few seconds to look at the menu and it changed again, and it was like, I don't know what it says. I just took a photograph of it in the end so we can actually properly look at it and see what the options were.
You can see we're tourists.
Yeah, we look touristy.
In the shop there were like a lot of other options as well, which is really cool.
Yeah, so you go around and get like your drinks and whatnot. There's like loads of different types of tea, and then like they were selling confectionery, I think partly for Halloween. There's loads of Halloween stuff in there. And then Frere Rocher sold individually, which I've never seen in England. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was good food. It was a good start to the day.
Now we're going to the market.
This looks really nice. Guys, Atwater Market isn't huge, but it's really pretty and some of the food looks absolutely incredible. We treated ourselves with these tiny sausages.
Saucisson.
Yeah. Tiny sausages. And this cool little chocolate cake from this lovely bakery behind.
I've got some probiotic soda. It's in here that they're like quite big on any fermented drink. They've got some kombucha, and they had some mate libre, I don't remember, matcha libre? Something like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's all like probiotic drink with like fermented stuff, with like good bacteria basically for the gut. I'm quite keen on kombucha, so I'm like trying them all. Something libre was like a bit less good than kombucha for me personally, because like kombucha is quite like sparkling. I don't know, it just like tastes nicer. I just don't know how different all these drinks are, but like it's quite cool to see them all.
I'm being more boring. I just got like a blood orange lemonade. So we're just heading off to the old port, and the first thing when Anna looks at her phone, she goes, well, we're on the right tracks. Quite literally. There's an old train line / tram line thing down here. So we've come down the canal to the old port. We're here for the Aurora show at the church a little bit later on, and otherwise to explore So all the historic buildings. There's a really old grain factory behind me. And beautifully, all the way down the canal are these little info boards, some really cool ones back there as well, but they end with one solely about the canal and its lock systems. About the history of shipping and getting into the interior from Montreal, which is really interesting to read. It's fascinating. And yeah, you can see how on this side there's loads of modern buildings. On the other side, it's history and being done back up. It's been true to see the mix of old and new as you go around the old port. So we're at the old port and there's a museum which we're about to go into that's free. It only opens on Saturdays and Sundays. Today's Monday, we can't go in, but we can go up the top and have a look at the big boat that's moored up. And there's a clock tower we're going to go see after before finally going to the church, which is just behind us over there for the light display. Up at the top of the port area they've got these great info boards stretching all the way along and up to the other end as well. And I've not even finished them yet, I've only read 2 sections, but what that's really stuck with me so far is there's a golden cane that used to be handed out to ships that arrived at the port. A tradition that lasts this day. The first ocean liner ship to arrive at the port each year, the captain is given the golden cane, and apparently it's very sought after to be the first ocean going ship to arrive here each year. I think that's a really great tradition. I didn't realise there was still like an island with stuff from one of the old international fairs on it. So the US Pavilion's this cool dome. Got England down there with its tower, France there, and there's even a Soviet Union one still. Oh my god, that's so cool! There's a ship that's a high ropes course and a zip line that goes over there, and then a 2-kilometer labyrinth in there. I wish we had more time for the light display to do some of this, but I think most of it's closed because everything seems to be closed on a Monday. But if we had more time in Montreal in total, I'd totally come back here to see all this and do it. Really cool. We're here for the Aura show. It's really dark and really pretty in this church. Someone's put a light on. we just saw the Aura show in the church behind, and it was incredible. You weren't allowed to film it.
Yeah.
So yeah, you've not got anything other than a little bit I filmed beforehand. There's some small shows going around the outside before the main show started. But the projection mapping was on point. Like, I was in one of the Disney ones and had a projection map on the castle. This is so much better because all the little intricate bits of the church are mapped and like little lasers go over it. And there's actual main lighting and then beam lasers, like use all some bits of different tech, and then you've got organ music, choir, and then some weird like techno music at one point, which is a little bit
out
of place maybe.
Yeah, it's strange. I don't know. I think I don't know. It depends what they went for. I don't know, because like before that you can see like, I don't know. There's like the start is quite like sandy and stuff to like build the setting, and then after like you go through the whole year with the seasons.
That's probably the best bit.
Spring to winter with then a storm, and then so sort of blacks out, and then we agree that that part is really beautiful. Yeah. Because you're like, you know, you feel like you're in a warehouse, and you can see the outside.
When you see the roof is actually like not glass, but like you can see the trees above. So like the pillars that hold the roof up like become the tree trunks, and then you see the leaves across the roof in the night sky. And
and then after that it blacks out, and then suddenly there's some techno bit weird with like some like
like projection lasers going across like in a triangle, and
but then after that there's like a hat, like it beats like a hat, and then after that we go to paradise and you can feel it being lifted there. So I wonder if it was a bit like the in-between that we went for. I don't know.
The majority of it felt not overly religious, but like it had a religious connection with how it is around Jesus and the disciples at the front, until one little bit like the techno bit was the one bit that didn't feel very religious. I think the rest of it felt like it had a religious connection with like
for me,
trees.
I wonder if the person was dying and then they're like going to paradise.
Possibly.
Yeah.
I really like the organ, I like the choir, all of that felt really good, really on point. Even the tenor bit was impressive, like light-wise and sound-wise, like the light and the sound working together was really good. It's just the one bit that felt, maybe wasn't needed.
And then after, like at the end, like there were a bit like, it was more gold and majestic, and then end of things.
Yeah, just how it all went, and I say it's using different types of lighting to convey a really interesting experience. It wasn't just lasers, it wasn't just projection mapping, it wasn't just lights. It was all of those together with choir and organ music in time. Really did a brilliant show. But like the lasers were so intricate with how they went up around the architecture. It looked impressive. There's one bit, I don't know if you noticed it, when the lights was near the end. How they flashed made it feel like the altar at the front was changing in size. It felt like the actual church itself was moving, which was really impressive. Yeah, it's phenomenal. I'd recommend it. I mean, there probably are recordings of this on YouTube somewhere. I think even if you see a recording of this, it won't give you the experience unless you're sat in the room, because it's all above you, and beside you, it's everywhere. So I don't think
the sound system as well.
Yeah, I don't think on camera you could ever convey how good it is. So if there is a recording out there, it's not meant to be, but if there is, you can see it. But I think you won't actually experience it unless you come here in person.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah, I really recommend it. We are now going to go to Chinatown to get food. Dumplings for dinner. We've got 2 different flavors each. Anna's very happy. She loves dumplings. I think she has a problem. Well, after enjoying those dumplings, we are ready for bed. We have tickets booked for the Biodome Zoo tomorrow, which looks fantastic. I have no idea what to expect. It's not like a normal zoo. It's not like, none of it's outside. It's like, I think quite small. And it's going to take a whole day, but sort of climate-controlled environments and everything. I think it sounds very impressive. So I'm hoping those are the expectation I'm building for it in my own head. But thank you for joining us today, and hopefully I'll see you again tomorrow for the zoo.
Produit.